Yo guys, what is up and welcome back to a new video. Now as you can see, I'm sat in the trusty ST with the dead trim. Now at the moment we are amongst a global pandemic, so we are advised to either stay home unless needed to leave. So for example, unless you can't go shopping to go and get your food, stay home. So while we're staying home, you've got to use your time efficiently. I felt I would show you guys, after 1 year of ownership, yes, it's the ST's birthday today, not registration date, but 365 days since I've owned her. But I thought I'd run through all the mods that I do like, the mods that I regret, and more importantly, the mods that I didn't pay for. If that's something you'd like to see, and you fancy nosing on what's going on with my car, how I've possibly afforded everything, I will be real, stick around. Intro is going to come at you right now, and we'll see you guys very shortly. For the meantime, as said just now, GC and the PT, roll the intro. Peace. The free smoke comes because the previous owner was clearly a Honda driver. Now he obviously sits in McDonald's, but more importantly, there's a ton of stuff inside the car right now that I thought I'd run through before we went round the outside. Now, before I did anything on this car, I did a short shifter. Now, when I had my Renault Megane R26, the short shifter was something that I really appreciated. Now, to those of you that don't know, as I'm sure you do, but if I just put my foot down on the clutch, what you'll see is the throw. Now, the throw is the distance between a gear change. So usually in a standard car, your throw is longer. Okay, this looks really oddly sexual, but more importantly, the throw is longer and as a result, doesn't feel as sporty. So people put a short shifter, which is effectively just a customized link that means the throw between your gears is shorter. Now, in this particular instance, I did do a short shifter, but I want to be honest with you. I'm not a massive fan. It does make the shift distance, so to speak, shorter, but it doesn't do it in the same way that my Megane did. It's not as nice, and I don't personally believe that the short shift effect that I had in my Renault Megane is the same in this ST. So I might have had the wrong short shifter, I don't know. I probably just Googled it and found one for cheap, but more importantly, guys, that was the first mod that I did. And when I first got the car, the spark plugs were fucked. Now its ability to boost was just horrendous. So we checked the spark plugs, checked the coil packs, and that finally put us in a position where we could actually boost the car. Now once we'd done that, I can remember now, we went down to MJ Performance and we got the EBC brakes done. Now they were just grooved, they weren't drilled. Now although I thought they were drilled, they weren't. Just grooved. Now when I got the car, there was a couple of things that I wanted to do, but obviously money wise there was a couple of things I couldn't afford. So one of the first things I did to make the car look the part was a sun strip. Now I get so many questions about this, and I did screw it up, as you can see over here, but this is simple. It's a matte black sun strip from Ford Performance. Directly type that into eBay. So type in Ford Performance sun strip onto eBay, just order the matte black background with the gloss black writing. It's that simple. I'm pretty sure they didn't come separate. I can't really remember if I'm honest, but yeah, it ended up looking quite cool, aside to the Dodge, the bodge job attempt at the top. But yeah, the sun strip made a huge difference in my opinion. Now, after we did that, as you can see, front splitter, side skirts, rear spats, and diffuser, those are from RSP. They come with the little gel logos on the side. They look alright, I'm pretty happy with them, but I'd definitely improve on the diffuser. The diffuser is not mean enough, and it's not the RS diffuser that I'd prefer, but that's okay. Plenty of things to do in the future. Seeing as we've got a new rear bumper to install, it's not a problem. We did these RS grills as well. Now I did them pretty badly. They could have been stuck on a little bit better. There's ever so slight play, but more importantly, it's the white bonding agent that sticks out the top. So once I have the car compounded and polished properly, obviously we'll get that sorted, but for now it looks pretty sketch. I'm not too happy with that. Now guys, what you're looking at right here is the Direnza intercooler. Now, believe it or not, that's actually the first install that I got for free, and I'll explain. So, I installed the strut brace. Now, as cool as that looks, didn't really think much about it. However, very luckily, it got, I think, at the time, 43,000 views. Direnza contacted me and they said, look, we've seen your install video, it was fantastic. How would you like to try out the intercooler? So obviously not only the intercooler in the front, but all of the intercooler piping. We had the Symposia Delete, all of that included. So thanks to Asbo Autos, we got this fitted with them. Now, it's not that I couldn't do it. Obviously I would have been capable if I'd known how, but as you know, they helped me fit that, and as a result, I learned a fair amount. Obviously you can tell we've got the dual air feed slam panel here. I did have the single one before, doing multiple jobs on the car. I leant on it, cracked it, so obviously that inspired me to go and get the dual one. Now, how many of you guys remember Shane, the guy with the Mark II RS? Now, we fitted the Airtec crossover pipe at his house. We also fitted these fog light covers provided by Thatfoglightguy. They came off the Mark II RS before Shane sold it. But what Shane actually helped me with as well is the engine mount. We've got the hard race engine mount in here, the hard race engine mount there, and the Airtec one that goes directly below the gearbox. So between those, made a huge difference. I had that one done first, before I had these, but as a result of this one being stiff, it obviously brought out the problems that were in the two that were standard. So we've replaced those, and that's all been done, and as a result it made a huge difference to the way that the car drives. Now if you guys remember, when my drive shafts broke, the ordeal that I had with my drive shafts, I actually buggered my ST wheels. So Shane, the guy with the RS, again provided me with these. I'm pretty sure I paid £500 including tyres. Might have been expensive, I don't know, but they look great, and I do plan on having them powder coated and restored in the future. Obviously with lockdown going on, it's not something I've been able to do with recent. Now as you guys can imagine, there is more done inside here than there is to the outside of the car. It seemed more important for me to do things properly so that the car ran well, rather than having it look the part. Now I feel there are a lot of people in the car scene that do it the opposite way around. Now there's a million things that I could have done, there's a million things that I've done, and there's also a fair few things that I haven't done. Now, more importantly, before any of you guys ask in the comments, no, this car has not had its block mod done. Not yet. Or at least not in my knowledge. In my ownership, the block mod has not been done, and there is no evidence in the service history of it having been done. It was one of the first things I wanted to do, but because it's so expensive, I ended up just doing mods instead. Now, I know it kind of goes back on what I just said, looking after the reliability of the car, but it was always one of those topics that I wasn't quite sure about. Some people said it was a great thing to do, some people said it didn't matter. I know people with cars that have had loads and loads of miles without having done block mod. So ultimately, yes, it's something I'm going to do, and no, I haven't done it yet. So, Pro hose going from the turbo to the crossover, Airtec crossover, standard MAF sensor. I can get a Bosch one for 80 quid, but I haven't gone around to doing that. This is the Pro Ramair. This is from Lewis Gilbert. All of his information will be in the description section below. Got the Airtec inlet plenum. Now obviously this doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but the standard one's quite susceptible to blowing up. So it made sense to get this one. Not only does it look the part, provides me with the peace of mind of it not blowing up, but there's that torque as well, that third factor, that torque of it improving mid-range torque. Now it looks the part, as you can tell. It looks absolutely dope. Awesome, nice gloss black finish. But obviously when we go ahead and get the car mapped, that's when it will show its own. So obviously thanks to Lewis Gilbert as well. This was provided to me free of charge. Thank you very much, Lewis. You are an absolute hero. Obviously this is an ECU holder. I mean, what more can I say? It is a custom ECU holder, custom to your preference. This one says ST225. It's got a red piece of vinyl behind, so that red ST225 part stands out. What this does is it effectively keeps the brain of the car safe. This is your skull, so to speak. So this is looking after it, keeping it safe, keeping it healthy. Now, I'm pretty sure it does actually rattle the tiniest amount. And that's down to me. I just need to tighten some things up, which I'm looking at now. I can definitely do. Now, the bonnet lock conversion hasn't been done just yet, but this one was rebuilt. Now, when I got the alternator done, this one broke. So obviously it was rebuilt by the guys at the garage. I wasn't there, I wasn't involved in the process, so no, I don't know how to do it, but I can't imagine it very difficult. A couple of screws in there, so I can imagine it's just slam panel comes out, and then this gets rebuilt. It's that simple. We've got the MK Motorsport coolant hoses as well. We've done all of those, but left out the heater matrix. We've also got the RS vat pipe. That goes directly into the brake servo down there, so that's a super easy job. Again, you can see that on the channel as well. What else have we got going on? These little side panels down here. That was done relatively recently. We've got the eBay dress-up bolts. They're actually designed for a Japanese car, seeing as they've got Japanese writing on it, and this is not a Japanese car, but that's okay. What else have we done? We've replaced this, because it was grimy and disgusting beforehand, so I've got a new one of these. That looks super nice compared to the last one. Engine bay plastics haven't really been loved just yet, but they will be. Planning on taking out this here, this cover here. The side pieces, that's been done already, and then this one. So all of it will come out, get sanded down, wet and dried properly, primered effectively, and then sprayed gloss black with lots of layers of lacquer. So I'm looking forward to getting that done. I'm just thinking in terms of the engine bay, what else has been done besides to a service on the driveway, which again is on the channel. Yeah, I mean, in the last year it's had a fair amount done in here. Obviously when the block mod gets done, we're looking at doing a turbo smart actuator, and then we can play with the natural boost that comes out of the standard turbo up until we go RS turbo in the future. Now guys, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The gold wrap on the bonnet. Now, it's both good and bad in my opinion. It looks cool from afar, but the mistake that I made was putting in sections of tape, as you can see, and now you can see all the seams. So where I didn't put it in properly, I've obviously gone over it, and you can see like a double line, which I'm not really a fan of. Now, because of the honeycomb effect in here, part of me wishes that the honeycomb came out and screwed in, because obviously there are 2 bolts here, so at the time I wasn't quite sure whether this came out, but now I realise it's one piece. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, but I would love to have done a gold wrap on the whole bonnet and then put the metal piece over the top so that this all looked perfect. But the fact of the matter is I didn't do that. It was a bit of a bodge job. Need I explain any more on the GC and the PT's YouTube channel? But more importantly, guys, it's something that I would look at correcting in the future, but I can imagine I'm probably just going to go full send and get carbon fibre bonnet. The WRC bonnet vent on the right hand side. So like I said, guys, this looks cool, but when you get close, kind of doesn't. But it'll be something that we'll be correcting in the future. Now, guys, I will stick the hazards on. With the halos. So, guys, now you can see that I've got the halos in here with the sequential indicators. Now, they were actually custom built by a gentleman on Facebook. Since receiving these lights, it's certainly inspired to give a custom job a go myself. I mean, they look cool. It's not that they don't look cool, they obviously do. But I just feel that we can do a better job, especially here on the channel. I feel that we could potentially do a custom job on our own. So this was inspiration. There's a couple of auto beam lights in there and a couple of regular ones, but it's something that I'd look at doing in the future for sure. And if any of you have got any advice, or any of you would like to get involved, I'd be more than happy to get involved in that particular instance. So yeah, they look cool, but not quite to my standard just yet. Now, I did mention earlier there was a couple of things that I really do despise about the car, and that's exactly what I'm going to run through now. So I'll show you the first one. The previous owner's negligence. There's a little bit of a ding. You can see the scratch mark. It's just more money that I've got to spend. Thank you, previous owner, you bell end. Something I don't like as well. Don't know if you guys can see. It's quite hard to see here on the screen on the back of the camera. But yeah, it's just the wheels aren't in the best nick. But that's okay. We're also going to get the wheel nuts replaced because they're all horrible too. We also need to change the RS badges to ST. But once these have been powder coated and then the colour that I want them, and the big brakes have been installed, then we'll be on to a winner. I'm sure you all know this one. This is the thing that I hate the most. The massive gap between the car itself and the rear bumper. Not only that, you can see that it scrapes on the carbon fibre tips, which is annoying. So once that gets held into place, it'll be on to a winner, and I'll be excited. But obviously at the same time, when the rear bumper gets fitted, we're going to be having the RS diffuser go on there as well. As a result, going to look so much meaner and sit so much nicer with these carbon tips. I reiterify, it's been a week since I installed this exhaust. It's insane. I'm sure you guys know this already. Stripped out the rear seats. We've got a JP Cage's rear strut brace, obviously to go with the Direnza one we've got in the front. We haven't yet built up that compartment, so there is still a huge dip. And currently, the harnesses are mounted in the worst way possible. It's very unsafe to have them mounted like that. Obviously the seats went in, it was a bit of a whim, and the roll cage was supposed to be here at the same time, and then I ended up using money elsewhere. So that's one thing that I despise at the moment, is that it doesn't give me that level of safety or that level of peace of mind that I would like from said situation. A couple of things I don't like about this car. Rusty ass bolts, which annoys the hell out of me. Now, we've all seen these, you saw the video of me installing these. Got some good and some bad responses, both negative and positive. I think they look pretty cool. I'll show you guys when I close this. What do you reckon? I like it a lot. Now guys, quite often halfway through editing and filming with my car, what I tend to do is I tend to go inside, get some editing done, and then come back and film the rest of the video. That way I can tell the story more efficiently. But Lee's just rocked up just to say hello. His sister lives around the corner, so he's basically gone round to drop a birthday card off. But yeah, so he's turned up in his BMW M3 CS. He hates it at the moment because it's filthy, but trust me now when I tell you, this car in person is to die for. I'm going to walk you around. Now, I know most of you are Ford Focus fans, but this thing is insane. He was on the channel earlier on, not earlier on in today's video, but you know, a year or two ago, because he had a Nardo Grey RS6. That was an incredible car. Competition spec. This is also the competition spec, isn't it? M3 CS. Is this the competition spec or not?
No.
No, okay, so I didn't realise that. Okay, so carbon roof. Real carbon fibre roof. Real carbon fibre spoiler. Anything else that's carbon? Oh yeah, the side skirts. No way. That's so sick.
The front.
It's all real, isn't it?
The front, the bonnet, the steering wheel.
Oh, the steering wheel, that's cool. Yeah, so look at that. That's the one with the the revometer on the top, isn't it? Yeah, I've shown that in other videos before, to be fair. But yeah, guys, if you didn't already know, Lee drives this without the use of his legs. I won't go into details, but more importantly, this guy, he's a legend. He's had some sick cars. Oh my God, Alcantara, just noticed. Alcantara wrap. It's just a really, really nice car. It's got the front splitter and the grills. They're all carbon. Oh, are we opening up, are we?
See the carbon fibre bonnet if you want.
What? That's like a strut brace, but carbon fibre. Yeah. That's sick. This is such a cool car. So massively out of my financial stretch, or my my financial lane, so to speak.
No, lift it up.
Okay, I'll put the camera down to do this. 1 second. Surely you don't have to slam this.
Yeah.
Well, actually, like, really? Jesus, that was violent, man. Right, guys, I'll get this off the camera now, as obviously we're here to check out the mods on this car, but I'll put the camera down for a second and we'll join you guys very shortly. So standing from a complete side profile, you can also see that it's on the BC coilovers. Not that you can see that anyway, but to those of you that watch the videos, you already know. But I did actually increase the ride height deliberately rather than slam the car on its ass, although I did slam it as well. But I deliberately put it at this ride height so that the drive shafts would have less issue. Now obviously when you do the engine mounts as well, accompanied by the drive shafts and a few other supporting mods, does make the drive shaft issue on the ST not as susceptible, but touch wood, I don't want to jinx that. Obviously we've got the carbon fibre wrapped, or the carbon fibre dipped wing mirrors, and the centre console piece and the boost gauge. The chase lane plates, show plate, which is the GC and the PT one here. That's in carbon fibre, that looks really cool. Obviously initially I did actually have exclusive registrations on the front, but now I'm working with chase lane plates. They're much better. I prefer the look anyway, that's just my opinion. Obviously you guys are do your own. I've got the DMB graphics Ford badges on the front and the rear. They look okay, but the colour doesn't really go with the car, so I'm going to be looking at changing those at some point. Now the front splitter from TRC is completely scrapped. It's had a few issues with the road, but it's okay. It's still staying in the car. Now, although the Maxon Designs spoiler extension needs a little bit of 3M tape under there, which I'm going to do off camera later on, we've also got the spoiler lifters. Now, you can get these from CE UK or eBay, but yeah, accompanied with the spoiler lifters and the Maxon Designs spoiler extension, makes the ST just look so much better rather than going with the RS spoiler, which I didn't want to do. The little black bevel tuning sticker here, which has seen better days, but that's okay, that can always be replaced. We have got rally flaps, mud flaps. Now you can see those. I'm trying to think, you know what, on the outside of the car, is there anything else? I mean, besides to painting things like the fog light surrounds and doing things like that, I've really not paid that much attention to the outside. But no, we did the kill all wipers wiper delete. That's an easy one. But no, let's get inside the car and we can talk some more. Now we're sat inside the car, we obviously did the Vibe front door speakers. We initially, in the back, did actually have an amplifier and a sub. We've took that out. Obviously taking the rear seats out, we started doing the rear build. Haven't really made much progress. But yeah, the carbon fibre wrapped stuff that I told you about, as you can see here, that was from MKCUSTOMZ. I really like that. This is one of 3 Mtech engineering gear shifters that I've got. Not a big fan on this one. Now, I do like it, I like the design, but I just don't like how slim it is. The thicker one with more weight to it I much preferred. That's in the house, but the paint came off, so I need to look at redoing that. But that's okay. The Road Angel itself, although I wouldn't really class that as a mod, it's definitely a driving aid. I mean, I'm not paid to say this, guys. Honestly, it's an amazing piece of kit. You go to a new area, and having that beeping at you is just epic. I also did the front and rear dash cam. I don't know if you can see the rear in there in the rear window. I've got one mega mount device right here. That's super useful for just putting my phone on. I've got my phone here, so I can actually just show you. Look, it's that simple. Boom. Bosh, in the car, nothing to worry about. So yeah, accompanied by this one here, that's what I use for my front-facing filming. So if I'm ever talking to the actual screen and I need to see what I'm filming, I use the mega mount ones there. Now the only issue to that is the audio on the iPhone's not the best. Now you can see I've got plenty of stickers here on the inside of the sun strip. Basically every time I buy something I always stick it in there. But yeah, oh I forgot, you know, having just seen that hell sign there, got the braided lines as well. Honestly, I can't even describe everything that's been done in this car. The OG subscribers will know. We've got the Cobra bucket seats. They're okay. I mean, they do the job. They do what they said on the tin. We've got the OMP harnesses, but they're not set properly yet because the roll cage isn't in the back. Until the roll cage goes in, there's not a lot I can really do. I mean, you can put them on the rear strut if you're an idiot, but I don't really want to do that. I've been advised against it, so I'm not going to do that. These sliders down here and the actual mounts, they were a bitch. They were a nightmare on their own. I've still yet to replace this. This is one thing that really bothers me. And we'll just chuck the harness out the way. Because it's the ST1, it's just awful. Look, I mean, look at this. It's completely fucked. I mean, to be honest, I could actually just pull it out. Look, even that, look. It's completely and utterly broken. Yeah, anyone got a center console? Because mine's broken. Okay, so off camera I've completely ruined it. The contents of the center console is now down there. So I'm going to look at getting a new one. I don't want the one from the facelift that's got the little button down here. I'm trying to get the ST3 one. Hopefully it looks a little bit nicer and it's actually functional with the slider thing. Well, the actual armrest itself slides. So if I can get one like that, that'd be fantastic. Now guys, so I've just got in the car to try and list through some other mods, just like these bucket seats, the Momo quick release, and a few other things, and I realized I didn't even mention exhaust. So we've got the Milltek Ultimate, that was the last video I posted. We took off the Milltek 2.75 catback. We've also installed an Airtec downpipe, which was a bitch. We've also got the Toyosports sports cat. We've also played that as well with the D-cat. We've done that too. There's been so many things that obviously in a video over 20 minutes long, I can't mention and remember everything. I'm slightly frustrated that my center console has just decided to disintegrate as soon as I mentioned it in the previous clip, but that is okay guys. I wanted to say thank you so much for all the support of recent. The channel has grown 1,150 subscribers in the last 27 days, which for me is huge. So guys, thank you so much. This is a goal of mine and I really hope that reflects in the videos, that my passion towards making videos and talking to you guys and supporting you if you pop up on Instagram and Facebook to ask questions. So as always guys, smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But more importantly guys, someone in the comments, let me know what you're doing to entertain yourself on lockdown. Maybe we can give the viewers some ideas. So subscribe if you're new. We'll see you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for the support, but GC and the BT, roll the outro.